You aren't dreaming anymore. The warmth of your bed, gone. The air you used to breathe, it's vanished. You try to scream, but your throat is dry, filled with the dust of centuries. You feel a sudden, violent jolt, like the world itself is being turned inside out. You open your eyes, and the first thing you realize is that the sun has no light. The sky isn't blue, it's tearing. It's peeling away like scorched skin. And then you remember. You remember the sins you thought were hidden. You remember the prayers you missed. You remember the life you thought would never end. It's over. The clock has stopped. The pen has been lifted. The ink has dried. You are standing on the edge of eternity, and you are utterly, terrifyingly alone. Welcome to the day you were warned about. Welcome to the truth. The silence is broken by a sound so monumental it doesn't just hit your ears, it shatters your soul. The first blast of the trumpet. Imagine a sound that travels through every atom of the universe, a vibration that commands the stars to fall. This is the moment the angel Israfil, who has been waiting with a trumpet to his lips since the moment he was created, finally receives a command. And the trumpet will be blown, and whoever is in the heavens and whoever is on the earth will fall dead except whom Allah wills. The mountains, those massive, rooted giants you once looked at with awe, begin to move. They don't just crumble, they soften. They become like carded wool, floating in a sky that is turning the color of molten silver. The oceans, those deep, cold abysses, begin to boil. The water turns to fire. Can you see it? The horizon is a wall of flame, and the very ground beneath your feet is being stretched, leveled, and flattened into a vast, white, terrifying plain. The stars, those distant lights of guidance, are being extinguished one by one. The universe is being folded up like a scroll. Everything you ever knew, your home, your wealth, your children, your status, is being ground into nothingness. And then, the second blast. It hits the earth, and the graves begin to vomit. You feel a pull, a biological command that cannot be resisted. Your bones, once decayed into dust, find each other. Your flesh knits back together. You burst through the soil, gasping for air that feels like lead. You look to your left. You look to your right. Millions, billions of people are rising simultaneously. They are naked. They are barefoot. They are uncircumcised. Just as they were born, they are returned, but no one is looking. A man does not look at his wife. A mother does not look at her child. There is no modesty here, only raw, paralyzing terror. The eyes are frozen, staring upward in horror. On the day a man will flee from his brother, and his mother and his father, and his wife and his children. For every man, that day will be a matter adequate for him. You see the greatest kings of history standing like beggars. You see the billionaires who thought they owned the world, now shivering in the date. You see yourself. You are standing in a crowd so dense you can barely move, and yet you have never felt more isolated. The sun, in this world, it is 93 million miles away. On that day, it is brought down. It hangs just a mile above your head. There is no shade. There is no breeze. The heat is not a temperature, it is a physical weight. It crushes you. You begin to sweat. Not the sweat of a workache, but the sweat of sheer existential agony. For some, it reaches their ankles. For others, their knees. For many, it reaches their waists. And for those whose sins were mountains, the sweat rises to their mouths, choking them, drowning them in the very essence of their own disobedience. You look around for a way out. There is no exit. The sky cracks open. It's not a metaphor. The physical fabric of the heavens splits apart, and the angels begin to descend. Not the angels of your imagination, but the soldiers of God. They descend in ranks, massive, silent, and majestic, surrounding the entire human race. They are the guardians of the decree, and their faces are stern. They do not speak. They only watch. And then, the light of the earth is replaced by a light you have never seen. The earth shines with the light of its Lord. The throne is brought forth. 8 massive angels carry the arch of the Almighty, and the sound of their glorification causes the hearts of men to stop. The wait begins. Hours, days, years. The Hadith tells us the wait feels like 50,000 years. People are standing in their sweat under a burning sun, in total silence, waiting for the judgment to start. The psychological torture is so intense that people begin to beg for the reckoning to begin, even if it leads them to hell, just to end the waiting. You see a group of people running. You follow them. They are heading toward a man. It's Adam, the father of humanity. "Oh, Adam," they cry, "you are the one Allah created with his own hand. Intercede for us. Ask your Lord to start the judgment." But Adam shudders. He remembers his mistake in the garden. "My Lord is angry today as he has never been angry before," he says. "Nafsi, nafsi, myself, myself, go to someone else. Go to Nah." The crowd rushes to Nah. He refuses. They rush to Ibrahim. He refuses. They rush to Musa. He refuses. They rush to Isa. He refuses. Every prophet, the best of creation, is terrified of the majesty of Allah on this day. Finally, they reach him, the one with the praiseworthy station, Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, peace be upon him. He doesn't say myself. He falls prostrate under the throne. He praises Allah with words that have never been taught to man. And then the command comes, "O Muhammad, raise your head. Speak, and you will be heard. Intercede, and it will be accepted." The great intercession begins. The court is in session. The silence returns, but it's heavier now. The books are flying. Suddenly, the air is filled with millions of scrolls. These are the records of every second of your life. Every word you whispered in the dark. Every glance you thought no one saw. Every prayer you delayed. Every penny you took that wasn't yours. You see people catching their books in their right hands. Their faces light up like the moon. They scream with joy, "Read my book. I knew I would meet my account." But then you hear a sound that makes your blood turn to ice. A scream of pure, unadulterated despair. A man has caught his book in his left hand, behind his back. "Woe to me! I wish I had never been given my record and had never known what was my account. I wish my death had been the end. My wealth has not availed me. My authority has gone from me." You see him. He is looking at his sins, and they are laid bare. There is no lawyer here. There is no bribe. Your tongue is sealed. You try to lie. You try to say, "I didn't do it." But your own skin begins to speak. Your hands testify, "I touched the forbidden." Your feet testify, "I walked toward the harem." Your eyes testify, "I looked at what was cursed." Your own body has betrayed you. Then comes the mizan. The scales of the hereafter are not like the scales of this world. They weigh the intentions. They weigh the sincerity. You see a mountain of good deeds being placed on one side, fasting, hajj, charity, but they are as light as dust because they were done for show. They were done for the praise of people. And then you see a single word, a single la ilaha illallah, said with true sincerity, and it outweighs the heavens and the earth. Where are your deeds? What did you send forward? The atmosphere shifts. A bridge appears. As-Sirat. It is thinner than a hair. It is sharper than a sword. It is suspended over the middle of Jahannam. You look down into the abyss. You can hear it. Hell is not a place. It is a creature. It is breathing. It is roaring with a fury that sounds like 1,000 storms. It is so deep that if a stone were dropped into it, it would fall for 70 years before hitting the bottom. When it sees them from a distant place, they will hear its raging and roaring. The bridge is the only way to the gates of Jannah. There is no other path. Along the bridge are hooks, iron clamps that reach out to grab those whose deeds were not enough to save them. The first groups cross like a flash of lightning. They are the righteous, the sincere, the lovers of Allah. The next cross like a wind. The next like galloping horses. But then the light begins to fail. For some, the light coming from their toes is only enough to see their next step. They crawl. They stumble. You see someone you knew in the world. They are halfway across. A hook catches them. They scream, a sound that rips through the air, and they fall. You watch them vanish into the blackness of the fire below. The fire of Jahannam is not orange. It is black. It has been fueled for thousands of years until it turned white, then red, then a darkness so thick it can be felt. You stand at the edge of the bridge. Your heart is hammering against your ribs. This is the moment. Everything you ever did has led to this step. You remember the times you were told to pray, and you turned away. You remember the times you were told to leave that sin, and you laughed. You remember the Qur'an sitting on your shelf, gathering dust while you spent hours on your phone. You realize now that the small sins weren't small. They were the weights that are pulling you toward the edge. You look across. You can see the glow of the gardens. You can smell the scent of Jannah from a distance of 40 years. You see the people who stayed up at night in prayer, now walking with ease. You see the people who were mocked for their faith, now crowned with light. And you are standing on a thin wire over a lake of eternal fire, and the only thing you have is a mercy you earned through your obedience. But did you obey? Imagine the end of the journey. The last person has crossed. The gates of Jannah are opened. The inhabitants of paradise enter their homes, palaces of gold and silver, where no one ever grows old, no one ever gets sick, and no one ever feels a moment of sadness. They look at each other and say, "Praise be to Allah, who has removed from us all sorrow." And then the gates of Jahannam are locked. The people inside cry out to the keepers of hell, "Ask your Lord to lighten the punishment for even one day." The angels reply, "Did there not come to you your messengers with clear proofs?" They say, "Yes." The angels turn away, then supplicate, but the supplication of the disbelievers is not but in error. They cry to the people of Jannah, "Pour some water on us. Give us anything from what Allah has provided you." The people of Jannah reply, "Indeed, Allah has forbidden them both to the disbelievers." Then death is brought out in the form of a ram. It is placed between Jannah and Jahannam. A voice calls out, "O people of Jannah, O people of Jahannam." Everyone looks. The ram is slaughtered. The voice announces, "O people of Jannah, eternity and no more death. O people of Jahannam, eternity and no more death." Finality, the regret of the person in hell at that moment, is a weight that would crush the earth. They wish they could go back for just 1 minute, just 60 seconds, not to see their family, not to enjoy their wealth, but to put their head on the ground and say Subhana Rabbi Allah just once, to say Astaghfirullah just once. But the door is closed. The day of regret has reached its conclusion. The cinematic music fades into a slow, rhythmic, heavy beat, like a clock ticking. Now, open your eyes. You are back. You are sitting in your room, or you are walking, or you are holding your phone. Your heart is still beating. Your lungs are still drawing air. This was a description. But one day, very soon, it will be a memory. You have been given a gift that the people of the graves are screaming for right now. Time. You still have time to fix your salah. You still have time to delete that harem. You still have time to ask for forgiveness for that thing you think Allah won't forgive. He is Ol Gaffer. He is waiting for you to turn back. But don't wait for tomorrow. The people who died this morning had plans for tonight. The people who died an hour ago thought they would finish this video. The trumpet is ready. The angel is waiting. When you stand on that white plane, naked and afraid, and your book is flying toward your hand, which hand do you want it to land in? The choice is yours, and the clock is ticking. What will be your next move? For the sake of your soul, what will you change today?